Hi, welcome in. It is a new moon in Gemini, June 17th. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to have you here. It's so good to be here. I just want to celebrate the current new moon that we're in. I'm just going to anoint and bless what I do, and my third eye for what I know, and my ankles to bless my steps and where I go, as we always do for the water element. Let us light a candle. In acknowledgement. I'll try to set it up here close enough for you to see, or back far enough for you to see. However, that is. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and as you see, I have my little sheet of notes. I am a talker, and as with the Gemini, you will know, I'm Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Virgo rising, all Mercury rolled, so I am super Gemini. So this is super, super my time. But that's beside the point. Really what I'm here to do is just open the circle with you and give you an idea to raise the vibration together and just celebrate together. So we've anointed what we know, what we do, and where we go. We've lit a candle, and let's just clear the space. Let's get a used sage bundle here. So we've got water element, we've got air, we've got fire, and we've got earth. Aho. And on we go. Now, if I am to make this work, and some for me, some for you, let me just clear your space, as with my own. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to get on with it here. Gemini, a new moon in Gemini here, June 17th, and hopefully this uploads for tonight, because I did find out with my internet company that I am too rural to go live with you guys. So, yay. But I'll make the best of a bad situation, and, well, I don't know that it's a bad situation, but not the best, put it that way. Make the best of the situation that we have. I mean, at least I'm able to come here and share with you. I know that I didn't finish getting my chakras done. I did get the Earth Star and the Root, but I didn't get the sacral, the heart, throat, third eye, the whole nine. I didn't get all of that because I want to break it down and make it into that 1 hour session, so we don't have to come back 3 and 4 times to watch the whole chakra system unfold. I just have way too much, and I talk way too much, and I have just too much going on all the time. I have monkey mind a lot, so it just kind of sticks with me. I don't know. I just am who I am, I guess. Take me or leave me. Love me or hate me. I'm here. You can watch or not. It's totally up to you. Yeah. So with the new moon in Gemini is a new way of thinking. Don't let the past things define who you are in the present. Like, don't let bad things that happened to you in the past define who you are today. So someone burnt you in X way. Don't let that shine through in today and say, well, ooh, wait, this happened to me, so now I'm going to be shy to step my foot in the water every time that this situation comes around. Approach everything with a new mind, a new idea, freshen, a fresh thought, with a whole new way of seeing things. Even if it seems similar, you've never been in the current situation or the person that you are now. Like as I'm trying to explain to you, like, even if what happened in the past is something that comes by now, don't let that define who you are, you know. And a beginner's mind is a great new moon intention to set, which is what I was trying to push you towards here, you know, by not letting the current situation, you know, that letting a past situation define your current situation, you know. So it'd be great if we could do that, or at least try to. I know that's something I'm working on, is to not let my past situations or mistakes or whatever define who I am today. You know, try to make a better person. This new moon squares Neptune, so things may seem foggy, but that's okay. Let any false illusions dissolve into a clear and new view. It's important not to let the past define you, is what I'm trying to get at. It's so important not to let what once hurt you hold you back and stop you from progressing and proceeding into a new person. You know, let that old chrysalis die, let it go away, let it dissipate, and allow yourself to bloom and grow and flourish into something beautiful in spite of or regardless, you know. So how you see the world is what you make of it. We're all meaning-making machines. So what you mean to make is what we reap is what we sow, you know. So if you're thinking about, oh, it's just not going to work, I just don't have the money to pay for that, or it's just not going to happen, or I don't have enough material to finish this dress, or, you know, I don't have the right jewelry to wear to this show, or I don't have the right hairstyle to go out with the girls, or my makeup didn't turn out right, so I'm just not going to go at all, or this date, you know, the guy didn't rub me right the first time, or girl didn't rub me right the first time, so I'm not going to give him a second chance. Don't let your first impressions always just hold you back from whatever, you know. Always just try to have an open mind, is what I'm trying to say. Try to be as open-minded as you possibly can. Try to be as forgiving and releasing of whatever had happened in the past, you know. Don't let it define you. All I'm saying is try not to let it define you. Just try not to. So Saturn goes into retrograde into Pisces until November 4th, starting today. Retrograde planets are simply represent a withdrawal from its usual motion and momentum. A time to reclaim, reconsider, redo, repair, rework, recheck, revise, redefine. It's all about redoing, redefining, repicturing, restarting, just all of that. I get so tongue-tied. That's why I always have my notes right here and everything I do, because I get so nervous. I feel like I'm sitting in front of an audience of 150,000 people when I'm probably the only person that even watches this. And I just do it because I love to bring knowledge and information out to the public. So if someone wants to, you know, learn about the new moon in Gemini, the opportunity is there. I'm sure there's other channels, and I'm sure there's way better people than me, but I have a fair amount of knowledge, and I like to share that, and I know that my friends will sometimes get on, and so much love to you. Truly, truly so much love to you. From my heart to yours, I see you. Truly, I see you. I do. I know that there's probably like 20, 30 of you that, you know, like my videos every month and stuff, and that I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I'm telling you to start new, so I can't be harsh on myself, and I can't be hard on me if I want you to not do that, you know. So in progression with where we originally had left off, just reconsider, redo, repair, all of the re's. Saturn is about authority, responsibility, achievement, stability, time, boundaries, comments, integrity, majesty, master. Mastery. Mastery. Like to master something, to get it down perfect, to just know exactly the formula. Perfection. Mastery of a specific skill or a thing, integrity, wisdom. Do any of these things need some shoring up in your life? They need rearranged, or just the puzzle pieces put back in just in order? Is there something just a hair out of line, or is the track off just a little bit? And if it is, now is a great time to really repair that, redo that, restart that. Like I said, it's all the redo, refinish, restart, reconnect, reconsider, reclaim, repair, redo. I seldom throw any astrology into my moon ceremonies, but I've been taking some astrology courses, as I had told you before. So the last 6 months, I have dedicated a lot of my brain to the astrology. So yeah, I gotta throw it in there whenever I can. And I'm sorry. That's why I wanted to explain it a little bit to you, So in explaining that to you, technically a planet is considered in retrograde when the Earth, us, pass it on our orbit around the sun. So here we are, the Earth and the sun, and we're going around, and all of the planets that are stationary, as we go around it, it's like we're in a vehicle, and we're seeing it go by, so that's kind of like, that's retrograde. So a planet is considered retrograde when we, the Earth, pass it on our orbit around the sun, and the Earth catches up to another planet, and that planet appears to slow down and move backward. It's moving backward as it gives the illusion that it's moving backward as we go forward, just like when you're driving on the freeway and move backward, similarly to passing a car on the freeway. So let's just open the corner. Well, before I do that, I'll do one last thing. 5 things to do during Saturn retrograde, which lasts from now, today, June 17th to November 4th, is to reevaluate, reconsider, reclaim, redefine, and reconsider. So reevaluate goals and what it means to be successful. To me, that's something that I need to work on personally. I don't know about you. Some of this stuff is really geared towards me because I'm so Gemini, and I just really connect with this moon phase right now. Excuse me, my sinuses. My sinuses today are something. They mowed the grass. My husband mowed the grass, and it's just, it's getting to me. But 5 things to do during Saturn retrograde, which lasts from today until November 4th. So reevaluate goals and what it means to you to be successful. Reconsider what you have committed to. And I am doing that in the sense of I'm reconsidering how much I'm coming live. I haven't done the full moon the last 2 months. I didn't do it this month, and I didn't do it last month. So I haven't been doing the full moons. I've really just been focusing on the new moons. And that's just for me. But I also have been bringing extra things too. Like I did bring in one chakra class, and I'm going to finish up. And I'm also going to do Litha, which is June 21st, which is the summer solstice. Say 2 S's real fast. Summer solstice. Singing summer solstice. I crack myself up. You don't have to think I'm funny. I'm funny enough for both of us. Moving on. Reclaim your authority. And by me saying to you, hey, I'm not going to be able to, I don't feel like I'm giving too much of myself by coming in for the new and the full moons right now, because I have so many other things going on. I'm not going to get into my private life, but I do have other things going on in my life, and it's not just coming live. So I haven't made social media my life like some people do. This is just a pastime. This is some knowledge that I just feel is pertinent to share with the general public, with friends, with family, with those who find it interesting and just, captivating to do a new or full moon ritual, So that's really just where I'm at with it. And redefine and remake the rules. I set the rules to be this, and now's a good time to redefine that, to just remake that, to reset it, to restart it, to begin again, and and then the other thing is reconsider your limits. How far can you really be pushed right now? How much of you do you have to give? How much of that are you willing to give? And how often are you willing to give it? For me, giving it twice a month, it's the study of it, it's the preparation, it's the taking the mental note and putting it onto paper so that I can remember to not tongue-tie it as badly as I do, because I'm just not a great public speaker. I'm just not. It's just not in me. I guess, I'm glad I'm not a teacher, because I would never make a good one. But, everybody has what they're calling, and this clearly isn't mine. I mean, I do a lot better when I'm teaching in person, because I can read other people's facial expressions and I can go off of what they need. I'm talking about myself a lot here, and I'm sorry for that. Back to the basics here. Let's call in the corners, if you don't mind. Oh. I had a yawn. Excuse me. It's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon here. Okay. So, let's welcome in the guides and the guardians. Open the circle. And call that in. And usually when I do that, I will drum for you. So, calling in the element of east, element of air. And tonight's an air new moon, so we're just welcoming in all that really beautiful flowing air energy. Guides and guardians of the east, thank you. Thank you for this new moon, this new cycle. We make commitments at the new moon, and our commitment tonight is not only how we talk to others, but how we talk to ourselves. Guides and guardians of the element of air, we're welcoming you in and asking you to help us to be more kind to ourselves and to be more aligned in our communication with others, so that we're heard and our communication is more effective as human beings. We welcome you into this ceremony space tonight. We welcome you, energy of the east. And guides and guardians of the south, fire element, we welcome you in tonight to kind of switch things up, to bring fire for the new cycle, to help us shift and transform, to change in service of our own purpose. Of the west, we welcome the guides and the guardians in the element of water of the west. So we're looking for healing tonight on a level of communication, transaction, and healing old patterns. So if you're fighty or bitey like me, I can be quite the mischievous little one when I want to be. I may be small, but dynamite comes in small packages, they say. And if you know me, you know I'm quite the little feisty thing when I want to be. So if you're like me and you're a little nippy and snippy, then we're looking tonight for the guides and the guardians of water to come in and create a really beautiful flow over all of that, to make things smooth in our relationships, to harmonize and kind of almost let that energy flow like honey tonight from the west. We're welcoming in the guides and the guardians of the west, of water, and of the north. us and with us and in us, through us. This is the medicine of the month. This is the medicine of the earth. This is the medicine of the north. We welcome you to the guides and the guardians. We're always calling in the guides and the guardians of the elements. And in doing so, we might as well call in the guides and the guardians of the spirit element, which is the element that animates the others. It's the top of the pentacle. It's the ether, the Akash, the ascended masters, and however you see God, angels, the archangels, your ancestors who've crossed before us and those to come after. Welcoming them in and just rearrange the pieces of the puzzle to make it more coherent. After all, a narrative, new moon in Gemini is all about coherence. It's making the narrative coherent. It's making the relationships coherent. So tonight I just want to ask these elements who rule this new moon to help the puzzle pieces to just move on to greater alignment. Move us into that space so everything fluid, and we give thanks to the guides and the guardians, to the element of spirit for their animation, their great magic, their serendipity, and the great mystery. And with that, our circle is open. Aho. Aho. And so it is. Welcome you. And to open that circle. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. It feels so good. Once I get that drum going, I really I feel myself, melt into my root chakra, which is where we're all going this evening. So if you just want to loosen up your shoulders, roll your head around a little, widen your hips up, breathe in, release that diaphragm. A little bit of breath work never hurt anyone. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Let that soften you up a little bit. Did want to say, did want to ask you to remember the Hermetic principles here on this Gemini new moon. Remember the Hermetic principles. The universe is created by thought, and form follows thought. So what we think, we put into form. When we form that, we manifest it. So our thoughts are manifested. Our thoughts become things. They manifest into what we want. You hold the wand of what you create. Therefore, you alone choose how and when to use it. So you hold the wand of what you create, and you choose what and how you decide to use that. And just remember that. Keep that in your heart. Because we need to be led by our heart. And this new moon, like I said, let any false illusions dissolve into a clear and new view. This new moon is in the air signs. How many of us are, here's a good one for you. How many of us are overthinkers? As a Gemini, how can I not help myself? How many of us lie awake at night in bed and just overthink things? Oh, shoot, I should have told Sally that. Oh, darn. Like 10 o'clock at night, you're getting a text message from me saying, hey, did you think about this? Or, hey, I wonder if we could do that. Or, how about we change this? Or, if we just move this around, just turn it around just a little bit and we'll just get a completely different outcome. Or, hey, I forgot to run this by you while you were here. Did you grab that when you were at the house? Oh, you know what, you didn't. Like, I'm such an overthinker. I overthink everything. It's part of my Gemini curse. So, think how many of us tend to spin on those things a little too much? I do. To think and overthink. These new moons can have us in that place, especially this new moon in Gemini right now, you know. But one of the benefits of this is that it also gives us a chance to reflect on where we may be able to improve some of our communication techniques and habits. So that's what tonight is all about, communication. You know, Gemini is a very big communicator. We communicate on every level, from our body language, I talk with my hands a lot, to our voices, to our facial expressions, you know, actions. I've always been a big advocate of actions speak louder than words. You can tell me all day that you're sorry, but if you don't change your behavior, I'm never going to believe it. I'm never going to think that you really don't want to behave in such a way. I'm always going to think, well, they don't really want to change at all because they're not doing anything to change it. So that's my prerogative. That's where I see things. So how many of you are sun, moon, or rising in Gemini? Sun and moon. I'm Virgo rising, and I'm ruled by Mercury. So if you are sun, moon, or rising in Gemini, please hit that like button so I can see how many of my people out here watching me each time I come up are a Gemini. And even if you're not, hit that like button. Share my video, please, you know. Let other people hear the knowledge and the wisdom that I have to share. I have so much to learn, but I also have so much to share. And I love sharing it with you. Thank you for having me. But most of the people that I know that are overthinkers happen to be Gemini. And Gemini happens to be one of the smartest signs in the zodiac. And I'm not just saying that because I'm Gemini out the wazoo. I'm saying it because it's true. You know, Geminis happen to be one of the smartest peoples out there. You know, they tend to really, they're deep thinkers, they're processors, they're talkers, they're fast thinkers, they're quick on their feet. You know, they're intelligent. Their intellect is out of this world. I'm not just saying this because I'm Gemini or to flatter any of you, because Geminis, we do love that flattery. We like to be flattered. Yes, I like to hear, oh, your eyes are so pretty. Or yes, I like to hear, oh, your figure is so nice. Or yes, I like to hear, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're 44. You only look like you're 20. Maybe that's something I want to manifest. Perhaps I want to manifest that I look 20 when I know I don't. But it's okay. It's fine. It's okay. Flattery will get you everywhere, I tell people, when it comes to me, but that's okay, you know. On to bigger things. Geminis are intellects of the zodiac. They are so smart. They are good on their feet and fast thinkers, like I said. Sagittarius are pretty smart too, as they are higher education. But the downside of the overthinking is the overthinking. You're supposed to lead with your heart. not your brain, which is the center of your energy system. Your heart is with the 7 chakra system in your body. Your heart is at the central center of your chakra system. There's your root, your sacral, if you go through all 7 of your chakras, your heart is right at the center of it, you know. And we're supposed to lead with the center of, we're supposed to lead with our hearts, and we tend to lead with our minds. At least I do. Speaking for myself, I tend to lead with my mind. It's like, oh, well, should I really do this? Because I know it's probably not the best outcome, or I can probably do better if I do it this way, instead of saying, well, my heart really wants me to do this, or my heart really thinks that I should just drop that away, or instead of following my heart, I loop up sometimes right there, just like I tend to overtalk, just like I tend to overthink. I tend to, like, I have my little Gemini things, you know, going on. Like I said, Sagittarius, they're the ones too that are the teachers. They're intellects as well. There's so many. You're all intellectually capable of so many things. Share your talents, get out there, put yourself out there. It's so hard to step outside of your comfort zone. And for me, going public and live is hard for me. I'm not accustomed to it. But it's so much easier when I'm doing it in person. When I'm holding a class inside my house, or when I'm doing body work, it's so much easier for me than what it is for me to come on live, where I know there could be 50,000 people that could view this. Anyone could view this from anywhere around the world. And I appreciate your support, truly. Oh, I truly, truly do. Thank you. You know. So some good advice is, who cares what you think? What do you feel? Gemini New Moon, all about the higher mind, the intellect. A book I'm reading, Joseph Campbell. We're not so much here to make sense of things as we are to feel alive. And that really hit me. It really hit me right here. We're not so much here to make sense of the situations and the things that we go through, as we are to feel alive. If you knew my true story, if you knew a little about me and what I've been through, you would understand why that phrase or that sentence has so much meaning to me. It just means so much. We're not so much here to be intellectual, but to feel alive. So I really need to feel from my heart. When we feel alive, that's when we connect with our higher power. That's when it's either when we feel alive or when we're at our lowest. When we're at our lowest, we reach out and we find people like me on the internet who can lead you spiritually, or attempt to. That's my attempt. I attempt to lead you spiritually into another realm, or into a way of giving up what's holding you down, or what's slowing you down, or what's stagnant and what no longer serves you, and to give that up and to get rid of it and to leave it go and to release it. Release, remove, restart, regenerate, you know, it's, you know, we're in, that's what it's all. Retrograde is redoing things, you know, and where I just said about the 5 things. New moon is about 2 things: letting go and releasing what no longer serves and our highest good, and to set intentions for the next cycle. If you could pick a relationship in your life that you could transform the way you communicate, or wish you could be more effective and efficient, what would that look like? For me, I have a person in mind. I know exactly who I would want to redefine my communication skills with. There is this one soul that I really would love to redefine my communication skills with, because they are important to me. They're very important to me. And I do care about them very, very much. And if you're watching this, I'm sure you know exactly who you are. And I love you. What a thought. Anyway, you're communicating to the best of your ability, but it's just not being received in the right way. And that's how I feel about that. I'm communicating in the best of my ability, but they're just not receiving it in the right way. And that goes both ways, in that relationship. And it's a must relationship. It's a must-have relationship. It's a relationship that's a lifetime relationship. It's not going to go away no matter what I say or do, no matter what they say or do. It's never going to go away. That relationship is a here and stay relationship. So we have a whole lifetime to get that right. And until then, just got to keep cracking the whip. Got to keep going at it. Can't give up. I never will. I never have. I'm still here. I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing it to you public, out in the open, out of my box. I'm here on Gemini new moon, air sign, getting it going, filling intentions, recreating, getting rid of what no longer serving me, and setting new intentions. That's what it's all about. If you could improve communication somewhere in your life, make it better, not so many crossed wires, what relationship would that be? Tonight is the night to set an intention to have a more clear, functional, fruitful dialogue in that relationship. So I know where I'm working tonight. I know what I'm working on tonight. One is where you can improve your communication. And two is, what do you need to let go of in terms of communication that you keep spinning on because it didn't end quite how you wanted it to. There is another relationship that I have that comes to mind that did not end quite the way I wanted it to, and it is over, and it will never restart. And everything lasts for a season. Everything has a reason. Everything has its place and its space. It served its time. It served its purpose. And though I grieve that loss to some degree, for the most part, I'm comfortable with it because it showed me who that person really was, what their true colors really were. And had I known and seen that years ago, it would have changed the outcome long before now, but it is what it is. They served a purpose to me. I learned from that. And since then, I've grown. So, I got what I needed from that. And I hope that they did too. I send no ill will. And if they're watching this, then they know exactly who they are. I wish you healing for the future, that you can get through the things that you struggled with. Should never, ever leave a bad situation in a bad place. Always leave it with gratitude in learning what you learned from that relationship. Because if you were in a relationship that ended poorly, then you did learn something from it, because at one time you found value in that relationship. And in finding value in that relationship, they served a purpose to you. And that purpose was X, Y, or Z. But regardless, there was a purpose served. And so you should always be grateful for that. And I am grateful for the service that they served me. And I hope that I served them with some service as well, which I know I did. I absolutely did. And for me, communication can be tricky, especially if you're like me. I talk a lot and I tend to repeat myself. If you haven't noticed, I'm sure you have. This new moon is where you have to let go if you're going to make progress. If it's going to come up anytime this year, it's going to come up now. It's going to come up in this moon cycle, in this moon phase. Because you're not going to get what you're looking for. This is a new moon where you have to let go if you're going to make progress. And for me, journaling is part of that. Journaling is essential. As you can see, I can just fill a page like it's going out of style. I can just keep them coming. That's just me, I am a journaler, and I will journal my little heart out. Because what I didn't get to say to you, I'll put that on paper. I'll fold it all up and for me, one of the ideas I had is shungite. This is a shungite plate. So what I'm going to do to set my intentions to get rid of my old stagnant energy things that no longer serve me, things that need to be gotten rid of, things that I need to show my gratitude for the lessons that I've learned and to let go of it. In showing the gratitude in the lessons that I've learned and to let go of it, I have this jar here that has a fairy. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, I think you can see it. See the fairy? I painted a fairy on there and put, you know, some crystals on the side and put some crystals in the bottom. And what I plan to do is to set this little fairy jar right on top of that shungite plate, clearing and cleansing all that no longer serves me, all that is stagnant, all that I need to dissipate and get rid of. And when I'm finished, once I'm finished filling that jar, I will burn it and bury it to say thank you to Gaia for the lessons I've learned and to make space for what is new and make room for where I need to grow and bloom and flourish and progress and reconnect and restart and regenerate. So for me, like I said, journaling is essential. I write down all the things you want rid of, like fear or self-consciousness or, you know, anxiety, stress, etc. You know, new moon, surrender notes, limiting beliefs, like write little, so like here's my little, I just have a simple little sticky note. And like I said, with my jar, I'll just fill up with my sticky notes. I'll open the lid of the jar. I'll drop that in there. And I will let it charge on that charging plate until the following new moon. And then I will empty out my jar, dump it all out, crystal in there. I'll just tumbled shungite and some smoky quartz, simple clearing, cleansing, and smoky for, you know, pulling out negativity and, you know, transmuting that energy. So, because I'm getting rid of the old and making room for the new, you know, because it's always good to say thank you before I ask for something new, you know. This guy knows, you know, the universe is aware. She's always aware. Always. You know. And like I was saying, after you've written it down, write it on that post-it note. So I'll just do that with you now. I'll make a little post-it note. For me, well, for me, I would have to say, well, let's begin with releasing. So we have a nice clean slate, like I was just explaining to you. Back to my thoughts, you know. Let's start with releasing. So we have a nice clean slate to set our intentions before I start to ask for blessings from my higher power. I find it better suits me to give thanks and clean out my closet, so to speak, or that which no longer serves me or those around me before I continue on to asking for or setting new intentions for the upcoming cycle. So I'll just write like fear, anxiety, stress, limiting beliefs, anything that you might have to put down, go ahead. So I have fear, anxiety, stress, and limiting beliefs, a fear of success. For me, a fear of success. I do actually have a fear of success. I have an insane fear of success because I have been so successful in my life in many different situations. And with that success, I have witnessed jealousy. I have witnessed, fighting and arguing over money. I have seen families divided. I've seen so many things. So I do have a fear of success. So let me just put that up there. Of success. And I'll just fold that little piece of paper up. I will put that into my jar. As you see, I put it in my jar. Put the lid back on. Excellent. And now come the following new moon, I will release that through fire so it can be transformed and transmuted into clear and clean energy. You should always say thank you before you say please. Releasing for me is another way of saying thank you. So while I no longer need to hold on to the fear of success or need to hold on to the anxieties or the stresses or the triggers that I have, there once was a time that I found shelter or comfort in that. As I was explaining, there was once a relationship that no longer serves me, and that tie has been severed, the cord has been broken, and the relationship has dissipated. But there was a time, for a long time, that relationship served a purpose. So I can't say that I regret it. I'm not angry about it. I don't feel in any way upset. I wish them the best. And this has been put to rest, a year ago, 2 years ago. But I still remember them in my heart, and I wish the best for them. But I would never welcome them back into my life because they served their purpose. I learned what I needed to learn. And it taught me lessons. It changed my way, but it also did not make me bitter. It didn't make me reconsider how will I hold relationships in the future with friends, etc. It did not change me in that way. It only changed me in good ways. I had time to think about it. I've had time to reassess that situation, and I understand it for what it is, and I've released it and I let it go. But it served its purpose. When you're releasing, keep in mind that the universe really is listening. The universe really, really is listening and is quite a magic place to live. So be certain you are ready, really ready to release and let something go before you release whatever it is or was you are holding on to or finding comfort in, or whatever that looked like to you in releasing. Be sure that you're ready to let it go. Because if you say you're releasing your fear of success, make sure you really are. Because if that comforts you in some way, then you're not ready to release it. And by releasing something too soon, you'll find yourself lacking. And you don't want to leave yourself open for a perfectly clear prod. So jealousies, insecurities, stresses, etc. Don't release them if you're not ready. The first thing I'm letting go of tonight, let me just finish up. I'm going to open that back up. I'm going to get that out. That little notepad. Perfect. Excellent. And I am going to write a few more things down. I'm going to fear of success, stress, anxiety, holding myself to a specific standard. Grief is another one. A lack of structured thought. That's another one. I have a lack of structured thought. My thoughts can tend to boom, 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 boom. I have to structure them. I have to settle them down. I have to calm them. I have to put them in one space. Sometimes I have to even Write out on a piece of paper pros and cons of situations and which one has more pros and which one has more cons, so that I know which direction I want to go in, because even I can confuse myself because I'm so blah, blah, blah. I'm so ADHD. I'm so all over the board sometimes. Like I said, I almost snorted on you laughing at myself. I'm ridiculous, I know. Oh my God. I'd have been mortified if I'd snorted here live on here with you guys for thousands, millions, hundreds to see. My mind always goes that I have like so many people following me, so many people watching me, when, you know, I don't know how many people really watch me, but in my head, that's why I always go to that place. Like, there's so many people watching me. That's why I get so tongue-tied. That's why my message doesn't always get delivered the way that I want it to. Since we're in the Gemini air field right now, in the Gemini new moon, it's okay for me. I feel like it's more okay for me to be myself right now and let you see the genuine me. Oh my goodness sakes alive. Yeah. Okay. So poor health, lack of structured thought, poor health, struggle, releasing struggle, vanity. For me, vanity is another big one. So let's finish that up. Put that back into the jar. Okay. Now, setting intentions. Imagine that between your hips, while we're setting intentions, I'll just drum a little bit. Now, setting intentions. Imagine that between your hips is a big root, hence your root chakra, located at the base of your tailbone. That's where your root chakra is found, at the base of your tailbone. And if you're sitting down, preferably crisscross on the floor, just let your body feel into your hips and let your belly sort of drop. By letting the air out of your diaphragm, or however you're positioned, just noticing where your hips connect to the floor, and just mentally visualize what it would feel like to send that root chakra energy, that center of your tree, down to the center of the earth, and just sort of anchor it there and send anything and everything down through that root, down through that cord that really is no longer serving you. That specific standard, that grief, anxiety, vanity, the release of struggle, the fear of success, poor health, a lack of structured thought, and so much more. Whatever is holding you back, just send it down. Send it down through that root, down through that cord to the center of the earth. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, just feel all of that stagnant energy just trickling out of you. Resentment, fighty, bitey, irritability, shitty, icky, whatever, just send it all down. Visualize it leaving all your cells, your limbs, your muscles, organs, your nervous system, your central nervous system, your lungs, both your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, because your body can't hold all of that. It's just too much. It's too much for you. Now visualize sealing up that grounded cord and sealing up that earth, sealing up the earth on top of that. Close it up. While you're sending that down, when you're finished sending everything down to the core and the center of the earth, just begin to close that central line up. Begin to close it up tightly. Remember, we're held in a safe, tight container right now, so it's okay to release those no longer serving you thoughts, those negative, the stagnant energy. Release it and send it down to the center of the earth. Now zip that up. Tighten that container, body can't hold all of that negativity, that stagnant energy. Visualize of that, close it up. Now bring your focus and your attention and your energy up. Bring it up to your heart. Yes. This isn't about how smart we are tonight. Let's see how connected you can be to the core of who you are with love from your heart center. This is your prize at the end of the night, is to lead with your heart. For us Geminis, that's the prize. To not lead with our brains and our intellect, but to lead with our hearts. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. Bring it in and exhale. And anoint your hand, which I did, my wrist, and hold it over your physical heart and just consider what your intention is for the next cycle. Given that the focus is on communication, mindset, how you think, how you communicate, how you express yourself. When the moon is transitioning Gemini, the theme is on learning, transformation, teaching, information, problem solving, duality, storytelling, logic, meaning making, but also listening to the wisdom of your heart. Again, when the moon is transiting Gemini, the theme is on learning, transformation, teaching, information, problem solving, duality, storytelling, but listening to the wisdom of your heart. Again, listening to the wisdom of our hearts. If I could wave a wand and grant you one wish tonight, what would that look like to you? What would that be? I know what it would be for me. What would it be for you? Just a question to think about. Feel it, see it, and embody it, because that's yours to make. You're the magic maker of your own world, of your own universe. Back to the Hermetic principles, like I said, what we think, we create. What we create, we bring into the present. It's what we do. It's how we are. It's what we manifest. And that's what we're doing tonight. We're manifesting. So again, if I could wave a wand and grant you one wish tonight, what would that look like? Feel like? Smell like? What would that be? Feel it, see it, and embody it, because it can be yours. It's within your reach. It's right there. It's within your grasp. And in closing, in thanking and releasing our guides and our guardians on the elements, let us close tonight. Thanking and releasing our guides and guardians in the elements of spirit, of the ether, of Akash, of higher realms, of the dimensions, ascended masters, ancestors. Thanking and releasing all of you from this space for your wisdom, for keeping the other elements in line. We release you with gratitude from the circle tonight. Aho. And to the north, peace, patience, perseverance. Releasing them with gratitude, thanking them for their protection. Thank you, grandfather spirits of the north. And we release you. And to the west, for ease and flow, emotional healing, physical healing. We thank you for your presence in the circle tonight. And we release you with gratitude. We thank you. And to the energy of the south, transformation, change, which is inevitable, and that sure. I could have something to do with why I didn't do new moon practice or full moon practice the last 2 times. On this month or last month, I didn't come for new moon or full moon. I mean, that eclipse energy had me. It had me plummeted for sure. But I'm back on track again, and I'm setting new boundaries, and I'm starting over because it's time to redo, rethink, reevaluate, restart. And that's where I'm at. Again, air, we thank you for the new beginnings, a new cycle. We can make new decisions and make that new moon water. Get those waters out. Get your water out. Get it out underneath the new moon. Set a crystal plate under it. Put a crystal in your water. Sit it out underneath that new moon. Let it draw down that moon energy to use that new moon water for ceremony, for cleansing, for clearing, for anything. Even down to cooking. Anything. We thank you. And we release the guides and the guardians. And we thank you for your time here, protecting and holding a tight circle for us when we release you. Release you back to the elements of spirit, of the north, of the west, of the south, and of air. We release you. Thank you. Aho. Amen. And so it is. We release you. Oh. Thank you for sharing this ceremony with me. It was so great to have you. I look forward to Litha, to the summer solstice. The summer solstice is, I think it's on the I think it's the 21st, June 21st. Yeah. So look forward to seeing you June 21st. Bye. Go in beauty.